Hey guys, before this video starts, I just wanted to show you guys a text to kind of prove that two things can exist. Some people have not been appreciating the things that I've been saying about their favorites, and I understand it does hurt a little bit, but I can still say something negative about someone and support them at the same time. For example, Mimi. Mimi hasn't been impressing me too much the last few episodes. However, that's still my girl. I still root for my girl. So I point this out to say the people in the comments who have resorted to name calling, it's getting weird, okay? This is a TV show. We're supposed to be having fun. We're supposed to be able to disagree respectfully. Some of you guys are acting like children. And if you are a child, you ain't even supposed to be on this channel anyways. Okay, let's start there. So I just wanted to say, in as much as I love you guys and I love the support and I appreciate your viewership, let's find a way to disagree like adults who have some sense. Thank you very much. If the name calling continues, we're just going to stop the reviews altogether. So just want to make that clear before we proceed.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island Season 11, Episode 9. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So, tonight is the night of confrontation. So now we have Harriet, who pulls Ronnie aside and basically tells him, listen, at some point you need to make a decision. He was like, right now? And she's like, no, but by end of day tomorrow. He has a similar conversation with Jess, which we're going to touch on a little bit later. But during this conversation with Harriet, Jess is talking to Sean.
I'm not gonna sit here and waste anybody's time. Like, it's not fair on anybody involved, and I want to devote my full attention to the person that I want to devote my attention to. I'm a prize, like.
Yeah. And I know that.
I know, and that's what I'm saying.
I want you on the top of my mental piece.
For me to move forward with you, like, I want to be able to give you everything of me.
I want it.
I fully understand what Jess is saying in that she has to resolve her feelings in one place before putting her feelings somewhere else. I would not want somebody to come talk to me knowing that they still have attachment elsewhere. Don't even waste my time. So I appreciate her saying that to Sean. However, I don't think that there would ever even be affection for Sean anyways. So her kind of keeping Sean on the line is good game-wise, but in terms of finding love and seeing some romantic potential there, really not feeling it, really not seeing it. Sean. I saw his VT swirling around again, and in this VT, the man literally said, I have a tendency of nicking some girls from my guy friends. So at first I was thinking, does he have a savior complex? Because he keeps swooping in whenever these girls are in some kind of conflict with their men. But I mean, would it still be a savior complex? I don't know. I'm confused by Sean. This seems to be something he does and is aware that he does it. So a part of me is thinking, in the future, could this be an issue? Just because I'm now on the rocks with my girl doesn't mean you can now swoop in and try to take her off me. Like, that's not how this works. If I was a guy, that's what I was thinking. But none of the guys have pulled Sean up on it. Maybe because they don't really care about the girls that he is trying to steal. Samantha talks to Io and Ronnie, and she lets Io know that she's frustrated with the way that he has handled his situation.
What happened on the terrace? I've missed everything around here.
Huh? Can't give a girl a hug these days.
Oh, yeah. So you just kiss?
Yeah.
On the terrace?
Yeah. Me and Mimi have been already, like, we've already kissed before. It's not like I'm out here saying, oh,
You're closed off.
I'm closed off.
Everybody who I've seen who's a past Love Island cast member who is also talking about this current season is looking at Io and saying a decision should be made by now. Like, everybody. And of course, people have their processes or whatever, but what we don't see is that they have all day together. Maybe apart from the pamper days that they have and when they eat, because I think when they eat, they're told to be separate. They spend all day together. You're telling me with all this time you've had to spend with the people in the villa, you don't know who you want to pick? I don't buy it. I personally don't buy it. He's now learning that it's not the best idea to be physical with one and not the other, to be physical with anybody, especially if you haven't made a decision, because it is misleading. He also said that Uma doesn't understand that he had a connection with Mimi beforehand, and so he thinks that's the reason why Uma's kicking off now. Well, Since Uma came in, it looks to us, or let me say me, because some people don't agree, that he has been giving the majority of his time to Uma. So rightfully so, Uma would be a little bit confused. Now, like I said in the video yesterday, near the end, for the people who got to that point, Uma's frustration for me seems to be outside of Io. I don't think it actually has anything to do with Io. Potentially it could, but I'm starting to think that, no, not really. But if she was actually having feelings for Io, the last few days that she spent with him would justify that. And it also justifies why Mimi was frustrated with him, because she felt the energy shift. So why he's now acting like he doesn't understand where the confusion's coming from, sir, come on. Jess wanted to have a talk with Ronnie and she was ready to rip him a new one. But immediately he disarmed her so fast, and I was like, listen, between Io, Ronnie, and potentially Kieran in the future, Casa is going to be a trip.
In bed, you was thinking of her all night?
No.
Well, she just said to me that's what you said. She's what I'm saying, Ron. She's lying.
Okay. I swear.
And that's what I'm saying, I believe you. I didn't believe when she said it.
Yeah.
Sorry, the audacity of it. I thought I wasn't thinking about you last night.
Oh, don't.
For somebody who keeps saying they're the prize, it's not giving prize. It's not giving prize. It's like you're begging for this man to pick you. How does that make you the prize? I don't quite know. I feel like everybody would want to just run to the prize. Anyways, he blatantly lies to Jess's face. He's like, I never said those things to Harriet. So I want to pose a question to y'all, because we disagree on who Ronnie is leaning more towards, right? Would you rather be, this is now a personal question to whoever's watching this, would you rather be the one who Ronnie is committed to but lying to, or the one that Ronnie is sneaking around with but telling the truth? You tell me. Samantha runs straight to the arms of Uma and tells her that Io and Mimi had a kiss on the terrace.
Did you say they kissed on the terrace?
Do you know if they did? They did. I mean, I didn't know that, no.
Being honest with you, like taking out the terrace in front of you when you knew you were...
That's it. Babe, trust and believe, I stress that. It's done. There's no having conversations or working out. No.
I'm definitely now leaning on the side of Twitter. Twitter is saying that the girls are bad vibes, especially regarding Mimi. They do think that their allegiance is to Uma. At first, it took me a minute. I felt like the girls don't have allegiances to either one of them. But at this point, I've seen the women report more about what Mimi is doing to Uma than what Uma is doing to Mimi. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mimi doesn't get this exclusive information that the girls happen upon. However, Uma is privy to all the information. So I'm thinking to myself, like, do y'all have a thing again? Like, what? Do y'all have a thing against Mimi? Like, why doesn't Mimi have a girlfriend in there? And sometimes I feel like it's Patsy, but when they're all talking to Uma, like, Patsy goes along with whatever they're doing and saying. So I'm just like, no, Patsy can't be Mimi's girl for real like that. I don't know. I'm very confused by these girls. I don't feel like all these girls need to be chummy, but don't be playing in Mimi's face. That is very frustrating to watch. As I said in the episode before, or the video before, I felt like if either girl, being Uma or Mimi, is going to stand on business, it's probably going to be Uma. And she says, after she learns about the kiss, that this is basically her final straw. I don't know how far true that is, because we didn't get to see her confront Io about the kiss. But for the rest of the episode, she's basically waiting around to see if he's going to say anything about it. Spoiler alert, he doesn't. So I hope that she just decides to move aside and just let Mimi and Io do their own thing. Honestly, I don't know why we're chasing after small boy. Like, leave him alone. Leave him alone. The next morning, we see a few conversations. Jess says that today is definitely decision day for Ronnie, no questions asked. Uma says that she's annoyed by the kiss. Samantha did admit to telling Uma about the kiss, because when Vera was here, like, well, has it been confirmed? Yes. Io told Samantha. Samantha went and told Uma. Like, why is he trying to cape for the boys? You think you're slick, huh? Or did Munvir know? Maybe he didn't know. I felt like he did. I thought Ayo told the guys. Okay, if you didn't know, then fine, Ayo is tired of having to report all of his moves in the villa. Honestly, that's what happens in the villa. It's all y'all do. All y'all do is talk about each other. Like, there's no secrets in Love Island for real. And then Patsy shares that she's frustrated because there isn't anybody in the villa who's very keen on her.
So you don't feel like I've shown you an interest?
Yeah, you showed me an interest, yeah, of course.
You don't think anyone's keen on you? You don't think I'm keen on you?
Don't know.
It's been hard trying to like give my energy into everybody.
I know, yeah.
Every single time.
Kind of just, it's just not what I want. I don't want someone to be like, oh, I'm not completely shutting the door on you, honey.
I'm glad that she clocked it. I'm so glad that she clocked it. Omar, he irritated me when he asked the question back to her. You don't think I'm keen? Stop lying. Stop playing in this girl's face. He might have an interest in her, but is he willing to pursue her full force? No. If he was, he would have done it already. Like, let's be for real. I don't know what... You know, sometimes when I say stuff, people read into it, so I don't think I'm going to finish my statement. All I'm going to say is, Patsy, I don't think he was ever going to look in your direction, for real. So... We should have cut that off long time ago. Let me just leave that there. So Ronnie and Harriet talk about where his head is at, and this conversation catches the attention of Jess.
If he's actually saying to her, oh yeah, like it's still 50-50, I'm not sure, well then he's lying.
Both got good qualities I like. I think I've kissed you the most.
Yeah. She's going to be gutted, but... It's like,
the thing is, it might be that he wants to carry on speaking to her.
The girls who are talking to Jess are assuming that the person who's going to be hurt at the end of this is going to be Harriet. However, I believe, like Jess said, that Jess is potentially the one who's going to be pied, especially now because when it comes to this accountability and challenging me and all that stuff, or challenging him, it's been Jess. And some people don't like that kind of personality. Like, why are you always coming for me? Why do we always have to be serious? He might lean towards Harriet because Harriet is lighthearted. Everything's just flirty. Like, it's not so deep with Harriet. I still believe that he's leaning more towards Harriet. Regardless of who he picks, though, if his head turns again, it's gonna be drama. Whether if it's Jess or Harriet, drama will definitely ensue. Ayo and Mimi talk about how he has been processing his feelings and why he thinks there's been some confusion in his little love triangle.
Kissing you or cuddling you in bed is something I do enjoy. I think that's unfair in a sense where it's like I'm not giving you both the same energy.
Maybe it's a thing where he wants to slow things down, but then again, that's contradictory because he's the one that took me to the terrace.
Personally, I'm tired of the chatter. I'm tired of the back and forth. I just want him to choose. I just want him to choose. I can't do it anymore. A part of me, not a part of me, I wholeheartedly believe he already knows. But what person is going to cut off any potential romancing, any potential... I don't know, whatever, connections if both people are still willing to wait around? You know what I'm saying? Like, if one of them gave him an ultimatum, which I don't feel like they should. I don't like ultimatums, but if that works for you, that works for you. If one of them were to give him an ultimatum, I feel like he would rush to the decision, just like Ronnie. Ronnie now has to actually make a choice, especially because he's been forced to. And the funny thing is, Ronnie has had less time with Harriet in terms of actually being intentional about pursuing her than Ayo has with Uma, yet he's been given an ultimatum. I'm ready for this guy to choose. Patsy and Uma are having a conversation and Omar interrupts it so he can talk to Uma.
I'm on job.
I'll just step out. I'll see myself out, guys.
No.
Very fresh.
Try to keep it as fresh as possible.
For me? Oh, lovely.
Anything for you. Like, Mimi was like champagne.
Yeah.
And I came into the villa, I saw fine wine.
I'm excited to get to know you, and you picked me.
We've got to make Ayo sweat, don't we?
Patsy, baby, come back. Come sit right here. Look at what interest looks like. Look at what interest looks like. Like, the man actually looks in Uma's direction. The man actually reciprocates some flirting. The man is actually dropping some game on her. He doesn't do all that with Patsy. And Patsy has clocked it. It's not like she doesn't realize that, but she keeps going back even after realizing that. And it's like, girl, don't waste your time. Don't waste your emotions, child. It's not worth it. Uma asks Omar basically what was his first impression or something along those lines, child. And he said, you know, I saw Mimi and I was like, wow, it's giving champagne. But then I saw you and it was like fine wine. Yeah. So she said she's going to give him a try. I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. Anyways, let's move on. So Jess is complaining about how Ronnie has not pulled her for a chat, but when he tries to, all she can do is talk about Harriet.
Spent an hour chatting to her.
And hasn't come over to you.
And hasn't come over to me afterwards to see if I'm all right.
How are you? You're not feeling well? Just thought I'd check in, see if you're okay.
How's your chat with Harriet? Go and have another chat with Harriet. Enjoy yourself.
I do wonder if some of these connections in the villa in general, not even just this season, don't progress because they're so focused on talking about their opposition. If these two would spend more time, if anybody would spend more time talking about their actual connection, talking about their compatibility, figuring out if things could work on the outside, rather than comparing their interests with somebody else, maybe the decisions would be made quicker because you would know off the bat, no, I actually like this person more than I like that person based on the conversations we've had. But if we're constantly talking about the next gal, the next man, we're never gonna figure out if we even work. In the evening, as everybody was getting ready, I heard a comment and it was while I was typing, so I kind of missed it. I will watch it back. It sounded to me like Ayo said that he's scared of Uma's beauty. I'm gonna watch it back and I'm gonna give my commentary on that if that's in fact what I heard. So I've listened back and he said, I've seen girls like Uma that are that beautiful, it tends to get scary. Personally, if I was my good sis, Michelle, if I heard that, it would be lights out. It would be done. There'd be nothing more to say regarding this connection because, again, like I said a few videos back, like, is Mimi bread? Is Mimi a freaking toe? I look at these girls and I think, the beauty is on par with each other, but the way that the guys compliment Mimi as opposed to Uma is very frustrating. Ayo in particular, because we know where he wants to be and he's blatantly playing in Mimi's face, and quite frankly, I'm over it. We see some quick conversations before the dumping. We have Jess and Harriet who talk about how serious this deadline is for them. Jess said once he makes his decision, she's completely falling back. Hopefully that'll actually be true. Joey and Samantha talk about being in a better mood today than they were the other day and the potential of having kids, not with each other, but just in general. We know Samantha is already imagining her kids with Joey. Sean tells Jess that he does take time to blossom, but once he does, he is worth the wait. He also tells Jess that she is worth the wait. What interest does he have in her for real? Outside of securing a spot in the villa, because we know your game, sir, what is there for Sean regarding Jess? She's beautiful. But, child, anyways, let's fast forward to the ending. There were some more conversations, but at that point, I stopped paying attention. There are 3 bottom couples, Uma and Omar, Patsy and Manveer, Harriet and Sean. And the remaining islanders are the ones who pick the 2 islanders who get dumped. Going quickly through the conversations, Manveer doesn't have options. Patsy doesn't have options. Omar is trying to see things with Uma. Uma is trying to see things with Omar and, what's his name now? Ayo. Harriet, I mean, even if Harriet truly was at the bottom in the villa's eyes, were the producers going to let Harriet go at this point? Absolutely not. And Sean, basically the whole villa was commending Sean's efforts, though they haven't gotten him anything at this point. He's still trying. So yeah, they're going to keep him around. They ultimately decide to dump Manveer and Patsy. I would have done the same if given the option. Yeah, Manveer, listen, he got a free holiday. Happy for him. I still wonder how differently things would have gone if Sam would have stayed. but I guess it's time to move on. And Patsy, girl, you gave it a valiant effort. Honestly, you did. You tried your best. The guys just weren't into it, and maybe you'll have better luck on the outside. So that's it for today. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.